roles and responsibilities of a SuccessFactors consultant, right? You have basically two types of projects, implementation and support. Implementation would be from scratch. Okay, we start getting the requirements from customer. We interact with customer, get the requirements and configure the system as per customer needs and hand it over to customer. And then after the implementation is done, we also support the customer, and in support we do the incident, change and the release management. Okay. Let's discuss about landscape. Landscape is nothing but the architecture of the system. SuccessFactors also follows the SAP three-tier architecture. Like we have dev, quality, and production system. Every customer will have these three systems for dev, quality, and production system. Okay, so this is the three-tier architecture. The minimum is 3, but maximum can be any number. Okay, first we'll talk about these three systems and then I'll tell you what would be the other systems. Development system is only used by consultants. Can only be used by consultants. Okay, now as soon as we get the requirement from customer, we first have to configure the system in development. And we will also do unit testing here. Unit testing means whatever that we have configured is working fine or not. Maybe customer has given us 10 requirements. Okay, and we have configured few things which are not working. So we can change our configuration or we do the configuration in a different way. So we have done some R&D or we have done some configurations which are not working. Then we have reconfigured everything. Okay, only those things which works fine will be moved to quality for testing. Now this system is also called quality or testing. This can be called as testing. And here consultants and along with consultants we'll also see business users. Business users will log into quality or test system to test whether the requirements that they have whether the requirements they have given are fulfilled or not. And this testing is called UAT, user acceptance test. Users have to accept the configuration what we have done. They might come up with a lot of changes here also. No, we never expected this, or we thought it would look different, or we thought no, it will work. We get a lot of these things. So we'll have to change some configuration. Again, the change would be done here in development, again done in the quality system. Whatever configurations are passed, we will move them to production system. And here you will see all end users logging into the system. I mean, in an organization, if you have 10,000 people, only the consultants will log into development. And along with consultants, some business users, HRs or the project team who are involved in the project would log into quality or test system. And everybody, all the 10,000 users would be logging into production system. And you cannot do any kind of testing here. Now here, we can do some dummy hires. We can do some terminations. We can do some promotions. We can do some transfers. We can do the testing here, but not here. You will find all the real-time data in production system. And we'll be moving all configurations from quality to production. Okay. Now these are the three systems every customer will have. Additionally, some customers may want to have additional systems like pre-production. You can have pre-production. Pre-production is a copy of production. If you get some error, if you are getting some error in production and you want to fix that, if you have to replicate that issue, you will go do that in pre-production system. If you're still getting the error in pre-production, try to fix that issue here in pre-production and then do it in the production. Customers who doesn't have pre-production, you'll have to replicate that in quality system and then move it to production. We'll also have some customers may have additional system called test system. They'll have quality separately and test separately. Business users will log into quality, or the consultants will log into test to test few things. Okay, you can also have systems like training. Now, whatever name that you give, the purpose, what is the purpose of having that additional system? SuccessFactors gives us these three systems. Your subscription contains these three systems, and any additional system that is required by customer, they will charge, SF would be charging additional charges. Okay, so you can have 4, 5, 6, and so on. But the regular structure would be these three: development, quality, and production system. Okay, clear on landscape?
We know one thing, sorry. We know yesterday we stopped near release only, like we were about to discuss about release yesterday.
Yeah, we'll talk about release. First, we need to understand the structure. Then we'll talk about release.
Oh, oh,
Okay, so this is the landscape. And then next topic is the types of system. We have two types of system in SF. First one is called provisioning. And second is called instance. Provisioning and instance. Provisioning is a backend of SuccessFactors, and instance is front end where every user logs in. Provisioning would only be logged in by certified consultants. Only certified consultants can log into provisioning. And to log into instance, anybody can log into instance. You have your credentials, user ID and password, you can log into instance. But provisioning is not like that. You should have the prerequisite for logging into provisioning is you need to have certification, a valid certification. Only if you have valid certification, you will be able to log into provisioning system. And everybody can log into instance. You don't need any certification to log in. So out of the entire configurations or implementation, the 10% of the configuration is done in provisioning, or the initial 10% of configuration is done in provisioning system. Only after doing this 10% of the configuration, you'd be able to configure rest of the 90% in instance. It is like backend. We log into provisioning and enable all the features that are required for customers. SuccessFactors contains a lot of functionalities. Not every functionality is required by every customer. Example, a global assignment. Global assignment is a feature which is required for a customer if they have their operations in multiple countries. Now, and if they have a policy of sending their employees from one country to other country on global assignment for a short or a long-term assignment. Let's say I have a project requirement in China. The resource is sent from India to China for next 3 months or next 6 months or next 1 year. An employee would be back from global assignment to home assignment after 6 months or after 1 year. It could be a short-term assignment or it could be a long-term assignment. Employee is based at India, but due to some project requirement, employee would be working from China, and the employee would be back to India after the work is completed. That is called global assignment. And this is required only for a customer who has their operations in different countries. If you operate from only one country, there is no need of global assignment. So this feature is to be first enabled in provisioning. You go check that feature and come back to instance, do the configuration. What kinds of assignments you want to have? Do you want to have any approval process? What fields are to show up in the global assignment? So how do you end the global assignment? How do you start the global assignment? So you will have to configure everything in instance. We have time management, which is all about the leaves and attendance. Not every customer want to have time in SuccessFactors. So you want to have time management. So first go enable time management in provisioning, and then come and do the rest of the configuration instance. What types of leaves that you want to configure? How many leaves can be availed by employee? So all of this setting you'll be doing in instance. Only enabling the features would be done in the provisioning, and rest of the configuration would be done in instance. Though it is only the 10% of the entire configuration, but it is very important to have this configured before we do the setup in instance. Okay. Now, every system, dev, quality, and production. We discussed about dev, quality, and production. Right? Dev will have a provisioning and instance. Quality will have a provisioning and instance. Production will have a provisioning and instance. If I have pre-production, pre-production will also have development, quality. Pre-production will also have provisioning and instance. Same as your development or quality or production. Okay, clear on these types of systems?
Yes, Venu.
So we talked about the servers or the infrastructure. Okay, so all the data that we process, that we store, that we manage in any of the systems, dev, quality, or production or pre-production, this gets stored in the cloud servers. And we call these cloud servers as data centers. We have our data centers in different regions. Since SuccessFactors is a global application and is configured for different customers across the globe, we have data centers in different regions. Okay, US has got a different data center. Australia, New Zealand has got a different data center. Asia Pacific, India has got a different data center. Germany has got a different data center. Middle East has a different data center. So all the data of the customers of that region resides in that data center. One data center is shared by multiple customers. Okay, I'll give you an example. So we have customer 1. Let's say these are the customers of US region. And their data is in one of the data center called DC04. These data centers are numbered as like this: DC04, DC08, DC60, DC55, DC10, DC12. So we have these numbers. We identify the data centers of a region using the number. It's a DC04 is the US data center. All the customers of US region will have their data in one server called DC04. Okay, so you will find the dev, quality, and production here for all these customers. This is common for every customer. And one of the customer wanted to have pre-production. One customer want to have test system separately. One customer want to have training system separately. Okay, and this customer has pre-prod and test. This customer has test and training. This customer has training, test, and pre-production. So it depends upon customer's choice whether they want to go with only dev, quality, and production or with additional systems. It can be one additional system, 2 or 3. Or you can also have one more also. It is up to the customer. And depending on their need, you can also have additional systems configured. You pay for one additional system, SF gives you one additional system. You pay for 10 systems, SF gives you 10 different systems. Will be split into 2 parts. Data center 04 split into 2 parts called DC04 preview and DC04 production. DC04 production. Similarly, DC8 will also have DC08 preview and production. DC10 will have preview production. So every data center is split into 2 parts, preview and production. So the blind rule is production system of all the customers would always be in production data center. This is 04 respective data center. Production of respective data center. Customers of Europe, if they have their data in data center 08, so all the customers' production systems will be in DC04 production only. And one of the systems should be in preview and one should be in production. Usually, this would be in preview. And this would be in production. And these systems can be either in preview or production. Let's say for one of the customer, pre-production they want to have in preview. Test they want to have in production. Training they want to have in preview. Test they want to have in preview. It is up to the customer whether they want to have it in preview or production. Let's say I will call it as DC04 preview and DC04 production. Okay, now it is up to the customer whether they want to have it in preview or in production, these systems. But here they will not have any choice. Production system of all the customers will be in production data center of that region. It could be 04, it could be 08, 10, 12, whatever it is. Okay. One of it, usually the development system would be in preview and quality or test system would be in production data center. Okay. So now why the data centers are split into different parts like preview and production? Why should we have preview and production data centers? This is because of release management. This is because of release management. Whenever the release happens, okay, SuccessFactors upgrades or updates the system twice a year, and we call them 1H and 2H. 1H 2025, 2H 2025, 1H 2026, 2H 2026, and so on. 1H is first half of the year, and 2H is second half of the year. The release happens once in 6 months. Jan to June, July to December. First half is Jan to June. Second half is July to December. And the first half of the release happens in the months of April, May. And second half generally happens in the months of October and November. And one good thing for you all is, for your batch, you can see the second half release, which is going to happen in the month of October. Okay. So whenever the release happens, release always happens in preview data center first. It always happens in preview data center first, and then in production data center. When the release gets upgraded in preview data center, all the systems of preview, this, let me have it. Okay, if these are in preview, these. These systems would be updated with new functionalities. First, release always happens in preview systems. If the release gets updated in production system, now in release, what do we get in release management? Release contains a lot of features, new functionalities. Now, the existing, sometimes it may happen that the existing configuration or existing functionalities may break because of the new functionalities. Okay, so we need to do the impact analysis. Once the release happens, in preview systems, we'll have to log into preview system and check if everything is working fine or not. The current configurations are working fine or not, or if it is impacted, we need to analyze that. So we have a time of 1 month to see if there is any impact. If you see that if something has broken or something is not working because of the release, you may escalate or you may report it to SAP saying that because of this functionality, we are unable to do this in production system. So SAP would stop moving that functionality to production data center, or if they can fix it before the production release, they would be doing that. Okay, so that's why we have the preview data center and production data center separately. And preview generally happens in the month of April. Production release happens in the month of May for first half. And for second half, preview release happens in the month of October and production release happens in the month of November. Is this clear so far?
Yes, we do. More like in the time of at the time of release, does like if we get any error, you said that the team will be stopping the SAP function. So there we need to do any kind of coding or something like that?
No, we don't do any kind of coding in SuccessFactors.
Okay. So only with the help of data only we used to work on it.
Yes.
Oh.
As soon as the release happens, you need to log into one of the preview systems. With dev, it could be test, it could be training, it could be pre-prod. Log into one of these systems and test the functionalities. Test both the functionalities, the existing ones and the new ones as well.
Okay.
See if everything is working. If something is not working, reach out to SAP saying that this functionality used to work earlier, but after the release, we are unable to process this or we are unable to execute this. And SAP would fix that release functionality before moving into production. Or they will stop that functionality being moved to production. Because production, you have all the real-time data. You have all the end users' actual data.
The people using at the endpoint.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So that is your release. Now, what does the release contain? Release contains different features like universal or automatically on. Admin opt-in, or we call them customer configured. Then we have provisioning opt-in, or call them contact enablement partner. Contact enablement partner. And then we also have contact product support. Okay. So these are the features that we see in each release. Okay. The first one is universal or automatically on. As the name says, automatically on. These features are applicable or available in all the systems. From that date, once the release happens in preview, you will see all the automatically on. These are enabled by default for all customers. Whether you use it or not, you will see this functionality. That's automatically on. Second is admin opt-in or customer configured. These are also available in all instances for all customers. But to use it, you need to configure it. Automatically on, we don't have to do any configuration. Once the release happens, you will see that functionality. You'll start using it. But for the customer configured, you need to go and configure. There are some configuration steps to use that functionality. You need to do that configuration. Maybe some customers need it and some customers don't need it. You will have to configure it only for the customers who want to see or use that function. That is called admin opt-in. Opt-in or opt-out. You have the option to opt-in, meaning configure it. Automatically on, there is no functionality of configuration. But for customer configured, you will see that feature. Only if you configure it. Provisioning opt-in or contact enablement partner. These are also same as admin opt-ins, but we'll have to do enable or disable in provisioning system. And you cannot do it on your own. You'll have to reach out to implementation partner because only the certified consultants will have access to provisioning system. So you need to reach out to implementation partner. And last one is product support. You need to reach out to SAP to use that functionality. Maybe you'll have to pay some additional amount for using a functionality. Like recently, we have a change called the AI, Artificial Intelligence and SuccessFactors. We have something called Joel, which is a chatbot available in SuccessFactors. And to use this AI functionality, you'll have to pay some additional license. Okay, so you need to first reach out to product support for using that function. Okay, clear on these 4 functionalities?
Yes.
Apart from this, you will also see some new or notable fixed issues. Some issues which were identified by either SAP or SuccessFactors or by customers, okay, are fixed in releases. Maybe some customers had faced some issue in the past and they have reported this to SuccessFactors. They will fix that. Or maybe during the testing, SAP has identified some bugs in the product and they have fixed it. And they fixed it through patch or release. Those are called notable fixed issues. Okay, so these are the features that comes in every release. And the release happens for all the modules in one go, for all customers across the globe on one single day. The data centers get updated. Now for 2H 2025, the data center of this region would be updated. TC04 preview would be updated first in the month of October. Similarly, DC10, DC12, DC11. So all of the customers' data centers would be upgraded on a single day. And after 1 month, you will not have a choice. You cannot say that we don't want to have the production release this month. We want to do it in next month. No, you don't have a choice. Customers will not have a choice. This would be done by SAP for all the customers across the globe on a single day. Okay, so how do we know the information or what will we do in the release? Whenever the release happens, you will have to see what are the new functionalities, new features that have come in that release. Maybe few things which were not available in the product earlier are now available with this release. So you need to understand each and every release functionality. You document these changes. How is it looking earlier and how is it looking now? Before release and after release. So how do we know what are the before release features? Now when you log into preview system, you will see new functionalities. And when you log into the production system like quality or the test system or a training system, you will not see that change. So you take a screenshot of both the after release and before release. Prepare a document and this has to be presented to customers. Because after production release, customers are going to see those new features. We need to educate them that this is a new feature which has come in this release. And with this feature, you will be able to do some new things in the system. Okay, and all of this information about the releases would be found in one of the portal called community.successfactors.com. Give me 1 second. Let me stop sharing and log into. Okay, now this is the URL that we will be logging in to look at the release features. pages.community.sap.com and then SuccessFactors. Okay, so if you scroll down, you will see product release and roadmap information under browse this topic. Okay, you go and click on product release and roadmap information. You'll see the release schedule. And you see, first half of 2025, preview happened in April 14th and production happened on May 16th to 18th. The second half of the release is going to happen on 13th October in preview and 14th to 16th in production. These are the dates. Let me copy these dates as well.
Venu, one more thing. This part of release thing will be implies on every company or only specific companies?
No, this is for all customers across.
Okay.
In fact, this happens not for the individual customers. This happens for the data center.
Okay.
Okay. So
Venu, I have
early
a question.
hours or late hours of Friday midnight or early hours of Saturday. This would get updated. Release gets updated in customer system. What was the doubt?
Is this for this data center? It happens across the globe, or this release date, is it across the globe, or it is
It is
specific?
across the globe. Every customer will see the new functionalities in preview system on 13th of October.
Okay.
The version gets updated. It is like any other upgrade. Like iOS 26 happened for all the customers, right? Who are using Apple iPhones. That is available. But now there you have a choice that it is available in your mobile, but if you want to upgrade it or not, that is up to you. Right? But
Yeah.
when it comes to SuccessFactors, it gets updated by default for all the customers.
Okay.
Any doubts here on the release dates?
Venu, how could we recording the updations of that particular things in SuccessFactor? Okay, we should aware that any training modules it can be added in that one.
Yeah, that will talk.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if I go here to community.sap.com, it says that the preview release is going to happen on 13th October and production is going to happen on 14th to 16th. So one of these dates. As soon as the release is updated, you will see the release documents here. Everything you need to know about the new features and functions. What's new viewer? 1H 2025 available now. Now 2H is not yet available because it would be available after October 13th. Okay, so you will see the documentation about the release here. Go click on what's new viewer. And since the release is for all modules, you will find the release functionalities of all the modules here. Okay, now if I go and see here, there are 407 release features. 407 release features in 1H 2025, first half of 2025. And this is for all modules. And I want to see only Employee Central related. You can go and enable the modules. Product, you'll see Employee Central. Okay, you'll see Employee Central, and some you will also find it in platform. So if you select only these two, you'll find Employee Central related features. There are around 228. Every module, compensation, PMGM, LMS, succession, reporting, analytics, every module will have some new functionalities. And for EC, we have 228. So I've selected here product. Again, within Employee Central, if some things are related to other modules, you will find that in the module as well. Okay, now within Employee Central, see, it is related to analytics. Though it is the data of Employee Central, but is used in analytics or used in calibration or the candidate experience. Okay. Now, these are, but some of them like company organization, this is purely employee centric. Similarly, contingent workforce. Not every customer will use contingent workforce. If this is required for your customer, you can go enable and see. Employee data is required. Position data, foundation data is required. Let me enable some things which are required in EC. Mobile application. Process automation. User experience. Okay. Now let's say these are some of the features that we want to see. So we got only now 95. And within this 95, you will also see the features: customer configured, product support, enablement partner, automatically on, and then customer engagement executive or account manager. Again, product support is divided into two: product support and customer engagement, CSM. Okay, both of them are same. You need to reach out to SAP for this. So you can go and see how many we have in automatically on. Because firstly, we would always be concentrating on automatically on, because after this release, after every release, you will see these new features getting into the system automatically on. Customer configured, you will only see if you have configured it. They are available, but if you want to use it, you need to configure it. But automatically on, you don't have to do any configuration. These gets updated in the system for every customer. Okay, so there are 62 release features in automatically. And customer configured, I go and see customer configured, you see 30. 62 plus 30, 92. So there are very few which are related to product support. Maybe one. There's only one. Joule available in SAP SuccessFactors Mobile, May 2021. Okay, so this is product support. You need to reach out to SAP for that. Contact customer engagement. Contact customer engagement. There's only one. Similarly, we have enablement partner. This also we have one. Okay, so you need to see what are the features that you want to look at. You can filter on the type of the features. Let's say there are some minor visual changes. Every features you will find the title and then description of that release feature. What is that? What is the product? What is the module feature? Whether it is enablement, whether it is automatically on, or whether it is a product support or customer configured, you'll find that. And then each and every release feature will have a reference ID. And for some of the release features, you will also see a demo of it. That means a short 30 seconds or a minute, 1 minute video, which explains you the details. It will not have any audio, but it will just show you what is that functionality. Okay, first let's go and see some minor visual changes which happened in 1H 2025. SAP SuccessFactors made numerous minor visual enhancements in 1H 2025. The following enhancements are of particular note, although many less visible enhancements have been made. And if you want to see in detail of it, you can go click on see more. Okay, it opens up the document. This document can be downloaded. A PDF version of it can be downloaded. It can be a PDF. Okay, so you can go download the document. The entire document of 1H 2025 or only some features. If you want, you can go and select create custom PDF also. You need to go and select whatever that you want. You can just go select and download. Let's say the minor visual changes. Here, there are some minor visual changes. What happened? Visual changes means in the front end, you will see a difference in different areas. Like the text changes. Text changes means wherever, or let's say we were calling some of the configuration, some of the screens as, let's say, position. Okay, now this has been relabeled to something else. So after this release, you will see that text being changed. Okay, so those are text changes. Label changes, maybe wherever system was giving some error messages, you cannot use this transaction. Let's say this is the error message you are getting somewhere. Okay, now they have modified this text. Instead of you cannot access this transaction, they have relabeled or they have changed the text. So that is error messages. Roll over text or mouse over. When you mouse over, let's say you place your cursor here and it shows some text. You see here, when I place here, it says language selector, right? So that's the mouse over text or roll over text. Iconography. Iconography means beside every section, if there is a iconography, okay. So now if you see here, this is iconography. Now this is the text. This is the search box where you can go and search, but you also have an icon here. Okay. Now here also you see there is an icon. There is an icon, but what happens when you click on this icon? Maybe it opens up my profile. Okay. So in SuccessFactors also there are some icons which are added. Okay, that is iconography. Interaction pattern. Okay, interaction pattern means earlier it was showing up in one section, now it is showing up differently. Maybe they are sorted alphabetically. Okay, let's say these are the points which have come in. Now, these can also be sorted alphabetically. Now, these are these alphabetically sorted? No. First we have T and then I and S, right? It should be I, this one first, this one second, this one third, and this is fourth. If you alphabetically sort this, okay, that is interaction pattern. Few things which are to be sorted alphabetically, okay, they have sorted them. So that is interaction pattern. And then styling or design. Now, every web URL, every portal, when you log in, you will see some themes. Okay, now you see this border is showing up in one color. When you highlight, this is showing up in one color. Okay, the text is showing up now in white. When you highlight this is showing up, highlighted background is showing up in one color and text is changed to white color. Here the text is black. Okay. And when you mouse over, it shows up a different color, blue color, text is in blue color and background is changed to a different color. Okay. So that is styling. This is styling. Now some may show up in red color. Okay. Some portals may show up in red color or black color or a green color, depending on the theme or branding of that portal. Okay, so those are styling. Now, these minor visual changes have come in all the modules. Again, I want to see only Employee Central related. You go filter on. Okay, so there are some changes here. If you see, these are all those changes. Company organization related interaction pattern. It says before and after. Before this change, the actions in the action menu on the My Team position were in no particular order. You just click on it. You see here, they have given you a screenshot saying that this is before. It was showing up like view, position, or chat. Now these are showing up in a different patterns. But now after the release, you go click on it, you will see here. So these are sorted. C, R, V, alphabetically sorted now. Whereas here, you see these are not alphabetically sorted. V was showing up first. These are alphabetically sorted. Interaction pattern. there are some text changes. Now here it is showing up as add position. It is showing up as add position. Now this is changed to create position. After you see it as create position. That's a text change. Okay, wherever you have text changes, these are the text changes. And then interaction pattern we have already seen. I'll show you if there are any on styling as well, styling and iconography. Okay. If you see here, in the at platform level, there is styling. Okay. Now this section, we have section, subsection. Now this is changed. You see here, under section, you have subsection. So you have here subsection instead of section. So that is a styling change. Okay. Similarly, you see this here. Okay. And this one is changed. It is showing up here. Okay. That is your styling. Similarly, if I go and say iconography, there are some changes in iconography. Okay, this is how it is showing up before and after. You see the delete button, or you see this one. This is icon, which is added. If I will show you better icons. Now this is the icon, right? This shows up. These are the icons which are showing up. Okay. Let me open instance and show you how those icons show up. I'm logging into SuccessFactors system. I'll show you a good example of icons, or maybe the styling as well. So these are some minor visual changes. Now there would be some automatically on and the customer configured as well. So if I go to under Employee Central, these are all the new features which have come. Okay, each one of these feature is explained in detail. Add new employee to this position. This is a new feature which has come in last release. We'll see here some configuration requirements. Okay, and some permissions that are required. Okay, so this is automatically on. If these permissions are enabled and if this configuration is already done in your system, you will see this change. Okay, and wherever you have the admin opt-in or customer configured, they will give the requirement like this. Now this has to be configured to see this change. By default, every customer will have this configuration, and you will see this feature if this configuration is done. Okay, date of birth validation for employees. Now in the last release, they have added the date of birth validation. We made the following updates to this page. Updated how it looks now, added the validation also applies to add new employee. It says date of birth cannot be today or future date. Please enter a past date. If you are trying to update your date of birth as today or in future date, system gives you this error message. Earlier, this message, now we are not getting this message, how it looks now. If the entered date is today or in future, you will receive error message. And this is the automatically on. Every customer will see this message. They try to maintain the date of birth in today or in future. Okay, so these are some of the examples. Okay, so when I log into instance, now this is SuccessFactors instance. Okay, if I go click on this drop down, you see these drop down values. Now every value has some icon. So initially we didn't have these icons, and recently they have added these icons. Okay, but the text it is added. Now all of these were also showing up in a different sequence. But now they are alphabetically sorted. By default, you'll see home, and after home, you see everything as alphabetically sorted: A, C, D, G, I, and so on. So these are alphabetically sorted. So these are, again, interaction pattern, they have sorted them, and the styling they have added, or iconography, they have added these icons. Even the same thing with here also, you see these icons. These are also, this is called iconography. Now, when you mouse over, you see some background, you see some text color. You see some background color. When it is highlighted, you see a different color. When you mouse over, you see a different color. That is your styling. Styling, iconography, text changes. Okay. Any doubts on release management?
No, I know.
Okay. So when the release happens, the second half of release, which is going to happen on October 13th, we'll see what are those new features, how different is it. We can compare the current and the old. Okay. Every instance when you log in, let's say I have logged into instance here. I can go and check the version information here. Show version information. It shows the release as 2505. 2505 is the first half release of 2025. 25 is the year and 05 is the month of release, production release. Okay. Next release, when it happens, it will show 2511 because 25 is the year and 11 is a month of production release, which is November. In 1H 2026, you will see 2605, 2611, 2705, 2711. So it goes on. You'll see the release here. Every instance when you log in, you'll see which version you are in. By default, every system of SuccessFactors would be updated either on this date or in this date, 13th October or in 14th November, depending on the data center. Okay, if it is preview, you will see on October 13th itself. If it is production, you'll see between 14th and 16th. They say 14th to 16th, but gets updated on 14th. Okay, so we'll stop it here for today and we'll continue tomorrow with some more theoretical topics. We'll talk about certification in tomorrow's session. Any clarifications, doubts that you have before we close out? Okay. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day. We'll catch up tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.